I'm German. I'm a German engineer, and I studied environmental sciences, basically understanding that the world is not short of technologies, but that we have a habit of choosing the wrong ones. And I wanted to apply that insight to a number of domains. That is climate change, that's the loss of biodiversity, it is water management, freshwater management, but it all comes together in the ocean because all the pollution we cause eventually ends up in the ocean. So much of the food that we eat comes from the ocean. The oceans, they link us as humans across continents. That is where we trade, but that is also where we go on holiday. So I always had a fascination for the oceans and wanted to do something in order to protect them. I think the most pressing issue on the oceans is both the overuse of the various marine resources by humans, and not so much the global warming, but the acidification of the oceans, because the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, it gets into the ocean water and it makes it more acidic, and that destroys the web of life. It destroys the food chain, and ultimately it will make it impossible for the oceans to have all the fish in there that we need in order to feed as humans. The threats to the oceans, they're not really new. We talk about overfishing today, but that is because we have already overfished all the sea mammals, the whales, in the past. We're no longer talking about that. We have the pollution of the oceans, not only with chemicals, but also with plastics. That is a new issue that is rising up in the agenda, but it's not new. You knew it 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but it's politically like a new subject today. What we have today as a new issue is the consequences of seabed mining. Because of the rise of the price of many minerals, there is renewed interest not only in producing oil and gas in the offshore oil and gas fields, but also to mine the seabed for the minerals and the gemstones that might be there. And this is an industry that wants to grow, and we have very little understanding of what it will do to the biosphere, to the ecosystems on the ground, to the spawning grounds, so what it will do to the biodiversity, to the life in the ocean. Well, the wonderful thing about the Fundação Oceano Azul is that it is in Portugal. Portugal is a maritime nation. It has a long seafaring history. It's one of the proud nations among the Christian seafaring nations. So just having a foundation that is focusing on the oceans in Portugal is important. It's important for Portugal because it means that more people will look out to the oceans. It's important for the whole of the European Union because Portugal has such a large share of the European marine waters. But I also think that with the outreach that Portugal has to all the countries, not only in the Lusophone world, but also elsewhere in other developing countries, Portugal can be a messenger for a better understanding of the oceans, better knowledge, being more aware of the oceans, and finding forms to collaborate, because no one country alone can protect the ocean. We all have to cooperate, and this is something that Portugal can bring to it.